All right, good afternoon. We're going to do a quick update on the severe weather and heavy rain chances tonight. We're going to get storms. Question will be, are any of them severe? It's a good question to ask this time of year. Do me a favor, if you are, whatever platform you are watching from, we're live on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, whatever platform you're watching on, if you would like and subscribe, that'll help me reach you to bring you up-to-date weather information. It's just a Sunday evening here. Channel 7 News at 5 coming up at 5 o'clock. Complicated severe weather setup today, that's for sure. Complicated by the morning storms, as always. All right, good afternoon. It's another one of those days where we had morning storms. I could write a book about the amount of times Arkansas was expecting severe weather, had morning storms, and then had to kind of pivot the risk into a different area because that we saw it Friday. Storms moved into West Arkansas, right into the highest risk area, and the risk shifted into Central Arkansas, right along the I-30 corridor. So let's look at what's going on out there. We had the clouds clear out, and I'll show you this on satellite earlier. This is a product called GR Earth. It's just a good way to visualize what's happening on the large scale. You're seeing temperatures. Most of us in western and central Arkansas have made it back into the 70s. I think there's a good chance for a few more degrees of warming before it's all said and done. Real quick, I want to show you another product. We'll look at the dew point as well. It is moist out there. Dew points in the mid to upper 60s. You're looking at thunderstorms developing in eastern Oklahoma. Winds are out of the south. And we'll look at those instability levels as well. I'll show you what they were just a few hours ago. Very low, less than 500 at most locations. Now the instability levels are starting to rise across eastern Oklahoma and western Arkansas. And what you're getting is kind of an instability axis setting up from western down into central and especially South Arkansas. So all that being said, the morning storms did impact the atmosphere, and I'll show you what that looked like here in just a moment. But we are clearing out, and that's what you're looking at right now. We are seeing, really, the effects. There's those storms that moved through last night. They moved into western Arkansas. They were supposed to completely fall apart, and they just didn't. That complex just kept marching east. We didn't get rid of the rain until about 3 o'clock, but now we're looking at the satellite, and we are completely clear across most of western Arkansas. Now, off to the west, we're starting to see thunderstorms develop in eastern Oklahoma, and this is going to be what moves into Arkansas as we get into the afternoon and evening hours. Now, these storms, some of them are already severe. I think we're about to see a severe thunderstorm watch issued for western Arkansas for large hail and high winds. I don't think the tornado threat with this stuff is zero, but certainly it's not as high as it otherwise would have been. Now, the area I think we're going to have to watch for the highest severe weather risk this afternoon and evening is this area outlined, maybe into part of western and then southern Arkansas as well. I'd watch this area down here for the possibility of some severe storms if they can get going. We know there's going to be storms out there. There's going to be some heavy rain. There may be just enough instability with this afternoon heating that we've had that's going to allow us to watch for a severe weather threat. And I would say if you're in the western half of the state, isolated to scattered severe storms are possible, and we may see a severe thunderstorm watch issued very soon. In Little Rock, it's not clear, but we have a thin layer of high clouds that's allowed us to get back into the 70s. Here is Futurecast. Now, I'll put a qualifier on this. We'll go back before we start this. Futurecast has not been very good, and this is the HRRR, but it doesn't matter what model you look at, it's not been good the last few days with these setups and these thunderstorm complexes. Still, watch what happens as we go towards 6 and 7 o'clock. We've got some storms out there moving into western Arkansas, and this model, it's had this idea for a long time. It wants to keep them isolated. So you could have a large hail or isolated tornado threat with anything that stays isolated, but I think what you'll largely see is just a large area of storms that could have some severe weather, but really is going to pose a threat for heavy rain. Now, going from 7 to 9 o'clock, I do think we have to watch the storms in West Arkansas. Again, the instability is not what it would have been if we had stayed rain-free all day, but perhaps it's just enough to watch for some severe storms this afternoon and evening in West Arkansas, especially if anything like that right there can stay isolated. Now, it doesn't always work out like the model says it does, but that's what we'll watch for. Also, the stuff that comes out of northeast Texas into southern Arkansas very well could be severe tonight. And then I think as you get to 9 and 10 o'clock, like this model shows, you got some pretty big thunderstorms out there. Instability is going to start dropping, so what you kind of earned back this afternoon with the daytime heating, the few hours of daytime heating, you kind of lose that over the course of the overnight hours, and this just becomes a giant area of rain and thunderstorms. And it is going to be heavy rain. It's going to be loud. It's very warm and humid. You're going to get an inch or two of rain very quickly, and as you get past midnight, you can kind of tell the intensity drops. Now, one thing we do have to watch for that this model picks out is the bowing line segments that we saw the other night. You see how it's kind of picking it out? I don't know that it's going to be positioned just north of Little Rock. It could actually be positioned anywhere where these storms get together in eastern Oklahoma and then advance east. But that's going to be where we're going to have to watch for damaging winds, just like the other night. I think that's one of the highest threats today is damaging winds. Could we get an isolated tornado or two tonight? Yes, we could. And so I want you guys to stay aware. I made quite a big deal about the severe weather risk dropping early this morning because it has. Morning storms drops your risk, but it's not entirely zero. Unfortunately, we're going to have to probably deal with it for a few hours tonight. And then it's just rain. After midnight, lots of rain, lots of storms. It's slow moving. This is a good chance for us to all get a very good soaking rain. It clears out. Tomorrow, rainfall amounts, don't take the numbers at face value, but the general idea here is that we're getting 1 to 2 inches of rain across the state. And you look at our threat index, tornado threat's not low. The wind threat is there. The flooding threat is there as well. There's your temperatures, almost 80 in southeast Arkansas, and up into even western Arkansas now, temperatures getting into the 70s. I'm surprised we've been able to recover that quick, but rest assured, severe storms or not, we're getting storms later this evening, and they'll be very loud, and we'll just have to watch for the chance of severe weather. And again, if you're just joining us, you can go back and watch this video. The second I quit streaming, it'll go back and post it live. A severe thunderstorm watch is probably coming for our western Arkansas counties later on this evening, maybe within the next hour or so. We're going to see thunderstorms be likely in West Arkansas first. The rest of the state during the overnight hours, severe storms are most likely in western Arkansas as they will have the daytime heating. What daytime heating there has been to work with. I'm looking at the chat room real quick, and we can see if I can answer any of your questions. Again, I really appreciate everybody watching. If you would, like and subscribe so I can get this information to as many people as possible. Susan Bush, still cloudy in Mena, and she is in Mena and always paying attention to us and just needs to pay attention this evening. I see a lot of you watching. I don't see very many questions. Of course, I can't tell you which town gets a storm or a tornado warning or not. We're just in the process of watching storms develop, and hopefully they stay well behaved tonight. But this is what we're watching right now as we approach 4:40 in the afternoon. Again, thank you all for watching. You'll have a safe evening. I'm here at the station. Barry Brandt will be here if needed. And at the very least, we're all getting some heavy rain, but there's probably going to be some severe storms for some. Let's have a safe Sunday. The weather